Dear child, I've been watching the way you look at the window lately. It not like you're looking at the trees or the street. It more like you're looking for a version of yourself that you haven't seen in a very long time. The one who didn't feel quite so heavy. The one whose chest didn't feel like it was being pressed by a weight that nobody else can see. I see the way you rub your eyes when you think no one is looking. It not just sleepiness, is it? It a bone-deep kind of fatigue, the kind that comes from carrying a maybe or a what if for far too many months. You've been replaying that one thought, haven't you? The one that says, is this just how it's going to be forever? The one that whispers that you've somehow fallen behind or that the best parts of your story happened in chapters you've already closed. I want you to lean back for a second. Just let the chair take your weight. You don't have to hold yourself up while we talk. I want to tell you something about what Jesus saw. He didn't just see the prayers you said when you were trying to be faithful. He saw the moments where you didn't have any words at all. He saw you sitting on the edge of the bed with your head in your hands, just waiting for the clock to move. He saw you in the grocery store aisle feeling suddenly overwhelmed by the noise, wondering why everyone else seems to know exactly where they're going. He saw the tears you blinked back in the middle of a conversation because you didn't want to explain why your heart felt so fragile. My child, those weren't empty moments. They weren't moments of failure. You think you were failing at being strong, but Jesus saw you enduring something that would have broken most people long ago. He knows what it's like to feel the pressure of a dark night. He knows the weight of a cup you'd rather not drink. He was with you in every sigh. He was in the room when you were staring at the ceiling, listening to the house settle, feeling like the only person awake in the world. He didn't just watch from a distance. He stood in that space with you. He felt the prickle of anxiety in your skin. He felt the numbness that comes when you've tried to care too much for too long. And I want you to know that he didn't look at you with pity. He looked at you with a kind of fierce, quiet pride because you're still here. You're still leaning in. Even if you're leaning in with a trembling heart, dear heart, the season of just holding on is starting to shift. I know you've heard that before. I know you're afraid to believe it because you don't want to be disappointed again. But have you noticed the change in the air? Not the weather outside, but the weather inside your soul. There's a small, quiet hum beginning to happen in the background of your life. It's very faint right now, like a distant sound of a bird before the sun actually comes up. You might mistake it for your own imagination. You might try to talk yourself out of it, but I'm the one turning the dial. The struggle you've been in wasn't a dead end. It was a clearing. Sometimes for something new to grow, the old brush has to be cleared away, and that clearing process feels like loss. It feels like exposure. It feels like being left out in the cold. But I was just making room. I was making room for a version of joy that isn't dependent on things going perfectly. I was making room for a peace that stays steady even when the ground moves. You've been worried that you've lost too much time, that you've wasted these months or years just being stuck. But time isn't wasted when it's spent being held by me. Nothing is lost in the economy of my love. Every tear you cried is a seed in the ground. Every day you chose to keep going, even when you felt invisible, is a brick in a foundation that is much stronger than you realize. You are a different person than you were when this struggle started. You are deeper. You are kinder to yourself.